Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Waiting for me. Hello. Oh, there it is. Hmm. Okay. That already looks better. I'm not sure. Hi, Chris. Hi, Clint. Hello, Anthony. Um, this is the day for test. Mark had to test his things out today. Hi, Todd. And mine's been glitchy, and I just spend last 20 or 30 minutes with. Um, no, not really. I just spent about 20 minutes on the live chat with StreamYard, and he suggested I try another. We did it. I mean, I did everything else he suggested. He said try a different browser, and so that's what I'm doing. A different browser. Um, it's an establishment browser, and I'm kind of an anti-establishment on that kind of thing. Not in general, but as far as that goes, I am. Um, I've never used Edge before. This is the very first time I've ever used Edge as my browser, but it seems to be working. Did a little bit of work on the cameras and got some colors and light straightened out a little bit. Hey, Scott, good to see you, and Todd. Uh, Chris, good to see you. Chris Walters, Mike, and you guys must be bored, really bored to come into a live that says chat. That's incredible. But thank you. I appreciate you coming in. And is anybody seeing any glitches in the picture? I know right now my face looks a little pink. I'll adjust on that a little bit later. Um, some of the red in the background is better. One of the things I had this shirt on earlier, and Mark and Wayne both said it looked orange, and in my picture it looked orange, but it's supposed to be red like that. But my face should not be red like that. Of course, that could be a little bit of shadow as well. Um, this is kind of a pinky fuchsia, and so that color looks right to me. The pencil sharpener over here, that's kind of a pinky color, red, pink. So it looks right. Um, trying to see what other colors. Oh yeah, yeah. That blue packet right there. It really is blue. About the same color as my smock. So those are looking okay. They're a little touch light, but it's blue, so it's about right. So no latency or glitches. Okay, Scott, that's great. That's what I need to know. Um, last 2 weeks, my live has been glitchy. I didn't see it on anything else. Worldwide Woodturners, didn't see it. Um, but only when I went live through YouTube, it would go and then stop, and about a second later, it'd catch up, or 2 or 3 seconds later, catch up. It was bothering me, so I had to go over watch the what I had on my screen was OBS. Couldn't look at the StreamYard. It looks like it's doing better. Looks like it's doing better. 8 for a low in Dallas. Oh my goodness. That's going to be cold for Dallas. Cold, cold, cold. We're not supposed to get that cold here. And I'm in northern Kentucky. I'm like 25, 30 minutes south of Cincinnati. And we're not supposed to get anywhere near that cold. In fact, I could look right here and tell you here in just a minute. Let the old weather channel come up and tell us what it's supposed to be. I guess you guys are in the 70s out in California, aren't you, Scott? Uh, Chris Nealon, I'm on Edge right now. Normally, I use Firefox, and I have very few problems. This is the first time I've ever had a problem with Firefox. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I've got a not a philosophic, well, my philosophy and Google's philosophy are polar opposites on a couple of things. Um, and so I don't use Google. I just using Edge, which is the Windows product. Um, when I got into computers, Windows was it, and everybody was hacking Windows because it was so easy. 28 in California tonight. Wow. 50 now, going down to 28. We're at 40 right now, and our prediction is 33 overnight. So, that's cold enough. I'm cold here in the shop. This is the back corner, the exposed corner of the basement. Concrete walls on three sides. This one right here behind the lathe, there's dirt on the other side of that wall. The one that I'm facing, which is the end wall, about half of that wall is under dirt. The back wall is totally exposed. I can walk. In fact, I've got a door out into the backyard. So Safari on a Mac. Um, yeah, well, that's what I started to say, Chris. I went to Firefox years ago because nobody even knew about Firefox, so they didn't bother it. Nobody was even attempting to hack into it. That's a little different now. Um, on most things, I do run an antivirus, kind of a minimal antivirus, but it works. It's free, and it's worked great. I've been using it for 20 years now, and never ever have I had a problem. So I've been real pleased with it. Um, yeah, Safari on the Apple products has been really good. But I understand from several folks that now you guys who use Macs and what have you, you're having to use antivirus now. So again, probably what is that? 4 degrees for a low Tuesday. I don't. Oh, for next Tuesday, that could be. That could be. Um, yeah, they're calling for colder weather coming in. Those two storms coming in from the west should be hitting here the weekend or early next week, and it's yeah, it's looking rough, is what they're saying. Oh, Chris Walters, I was just saying hello. That's all. Good to see you. Um, Stream's looking good. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. This smock does have a dirty stain across right there, right across the bread basket. Worked hard on that, but that is stain. This thing is old. I've had this for, golly, I've had it for 20 years, and it's just, this is not. It's not dirty. It's stained across there. It's got that's finish and sawdust and whatever, whatever. But this has been a good. The AAW smock is, at least it has been a good one. I suppose it's still a good smock. A little pricey, but it's very good. Todd saying it's definitely a better picture quality. Thank you, Todd. That's what I was needing to know. So we've accomplished something. I may just have to go ahead and um, use Edge. There is still, if I go over directly into YouTube, there is still a quite a delay between what I can see, what's going on here. Even what I'm looking at is delayed by about a second, second and a half from what I'm actually doing. But then when we go into YouTube, it's delayed 5 to 10 seconds. Hello, Ruby. Just checking out, see if I got rid of my glitch. Um, I was telling everybody else I just got off the phone, not off the phone, but off a chat with StreamYard directly, and their greatest suggestion was, one, clear out my cache, but then secondly, try a different browser. They're good with Firefox, which is what I generally use. Um, the Edge that Windows puts out, and Google Chrome. And so um, Firefox is what I prefer. If I'm getting glitches on that, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to go to something else. Of the other two, the Edge is what I prefer. So I just have to make sure my antivirus is set and ready to go. Did do a upgrade with OBS. Look to see. Well, I was hoping to find. I was hoping the guy was going to say, "Oh yeah, StreamYard's got an upgrade or update that you need to install." He didn't have that. His biggest thing was clear the cache and use the different browsers. So that's what I'm doing, and it looks like we're going much better. Everybody is saying. Ruby says it looks much better. Uh, Chris Nealon says it's going better. Cold pizza. Must be supper time, huh, Chris? Uh, Scott said it looked better. Oh, I got to back up. What does that say? Talking about the woodworking show this weekend in New England, up in Massachusetts. I've always wanted to go to those. Um, yeah, Chris, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to the dark side using Edge. Um, I really prefer Firefox. The Mozilla products are they just work or have. And it'll probably work again if I would do this for 2 or 3 months and go back to Firefox. It'll probably be perfect again. So, but I started to say the woodworking shows. I've wanted to go to those, and I just haven't been able to do that. Scott has used OBS to broadcast live to YouTube on the Edge browser without any problems for the past 4 years. Yes, Scott. If I use the StreamYard so I can bring in the earworms. That's the only reason I use the StreamYard. Otherwise, it'd be OBS straight into YouTube. But it's a tremendous thing to be able to have the earworms there. I feel extremely fortunate having Ruby and Wayne as my pretty well count on those two folks being count. I can count on them in the background, and I don't have to worry about what they're saying to anybody. Uh, Mark, when he's in, I don't worry about him either. I wouldn't worry about too many folks at all. But Shane's good to see you. We're just testing out. I switched my browser from Firefox to Edge, just seeing if I getting that glitchy picture out. And so far, it's looking pretty good. I'm just going to go. It says I'm at 13 minutes now. I'm going to go to 15 minutes. And so far, I've not seen anything. If you guys have seen any glitches whatsoever, let me know, please. Yeah, yeah, they're looking for some rough weather in New England, Ruby. So they may or may not end up having it. Chris is planning on going Saturday, rain or snow. Good for you. I hope they have it. Um, from all the reports I've ever gotten or heard from it, it's been a great show. So, like I said, I like to go. The only shows I've gone to are mhm, um, AAW. I've been to that 3 or 4 times. Really enjoy going to AAW. Um, I went to something else. Can't remember what it was now. Excuse me. A tickle in my throat. Really enjoy going to those woodworking shows, yeah, especially if there's a lot of good wood turning. Um, like to be in some of those shows. I did, uh, Ruby, you saw it last night. I did finish my little pod flower. We got that done. That was done with dry wood. Now, I'll tell you a secret. I mean, it's bent down here, which is kind of what I wanted. I wanted to bend the whole stem. I, before I before I was able to clamp it down, I was just trying playing with it, seeing where and how I could bend it, where the path of least resistance was to bending this stem, and it broke right where my fingernail is. I did glue it back together. Um, this was an experiment with dry wood to see if it could be done. I think it can. I will boil it next time. I'll get that stem rubbery before I ever try to bend it. But then once it's, I'll get it to a shape I want, like with some rubber bands or maybe some string, and let it dry that way. And then once it's dry, I'll let it go, and it should stay that way. So pretty excited about trying that. Hey Jack, good to see you in Victoria, Texas. I keep, I don't know why I want you to be in France or some exotic spot like that, but you're in Texas. You're in Texas. Good for you. Uh, where are we? We're at we're at 15:45, and I'm not seeing anything. Folks, thank you all so much for stopping by. I really didn't expect all of you to drop in. I was hoping if maybe one or two would drop in and could tell me if this thing was working or not. So I'm going to knock this in the head right here and let it go. Um, Hopefully, I'm going to be putting out a video. Um, I've got next week's project. It's not ready to go, but I know what I'm going to do next Tuesday. I'm excited about it. It's one of those projects you see it, you think, oh, that's cool. I need to do one of those. And then it kind of goes into the background. Every once in a while, something has popped up and reminded me of it. And something reminded me of it today. And I'm so glad I did. I had to go way back, 3 years back. I can't believe it's been that long, but I went 3 years back in the videos and I found the one I was looking for. I'm excited about next week. So join me next Tuesday. We got a great project in store. And in fact, next Wednesday night, I do my live on Tuesday. Next Wednesday night, I'm demonstrating for Worldwide Woodturners. And hey, Ruby, while you're here, you wanted to see this, the Duck's Chuck. Very simple device. Basically, it's just a small block. Um, you can see the groove cut in it across the front end here. That's so when you when you put this in your chuck, it clamps that down around the base of this. The smaller part of this round thing goes into that duck's chuck. The small hole here is just a stop hole, so that it doesn't, you're going to clamp this down, you're going to bend it, but so that this split here that you cut does not continue to run through the wood. Of course, I've got the grain running vertically in this piece so that we got the grain working with us. And then this just simply goes into that hole and gets clamped down when you put this in your scroll chuck. I do have, you see the indents there. I've made indents for two positions. One is center. Um, it would be this outer one here and the inner one here. That's center on the piece, and then when you shift over, excuse me, the other direction, that offsets it just a little bit. And then I've also got, get it where you can see it here, that heavy black mark is right over the split, and then on the on the base I've got those marks. And so what I can do is not only can I offset this, it goes in the chuck, I have to take two of the jaws off, and so I can I can offset it this way, coming this way with it, but then I can turn, and it gives me that offset just like any eccentric chuck would do, for little small things. This is for small pieces. I could probably do a very small bowl, but for the most part, it's for like pendants and that kind of thing. So if you need to see it later on, you can see it. Hey there, Gary. Um, I'm excited that you jumped in. I'm going to do one of your projects from about 3 years ago next Tuesday in my live. I'm excited about it. I cannot wait. It's a piece I wanted to do for a long time now. And it amazed me. I had to go back 3 years to find it. I didn't realize it's been that long, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've got my wood sitting in the floor. I've got to do some gluing, some preparation for it, some measuring and some gluing, and it'll be ready to go for next Tuesday. I can't wait. That's all I can do not to spill the beans what I'm doing. So guys, I'm going to shut this down. We've tested this long enough. Any Todd says smooth. Yeah, everybody's bored looking for something to watch, some content. No glitching, Chris says. No stutter anyway, Mike says. Um, yeah, Gary, if you can't turn, you might as well watch videos. Um, even test videos. That's you got to be bored to watch test videos. Um, looks red. What are you saying? Looks red. I look red. There's just the background back here looks just a little too red to me. I know I've got two red handles. This one is darker. This one is lighter. It's pinker. This one. But that wall is oranger than it is. That's just raw plywood. It's not nearly that orange. No latency, Chris. Thank you, or Scott. Thank you. That's what I'm really after. Um, yeah. Todd says thank you, Gary, for great videos. I agree. Um, between you and Phil, I watch and rewatch you guys all the time. Clint, yes, my shop is heated, but I get very little heat down here because it is in the basement. I've got two exposed walls. Um, they're partially the wall to my right is partially covered in dirt. The wall behind me is totally covered in dirt. It's the foundation wall is what it is, and the back side is open. I have a walkout basement out the through my shop. Okay, Firefox was good, but I've gone back to the dark side. Yeah. Oh, I went way back, didn't I? Sorry about that. Um, Ruby, did I answer your question about the duck's chuck? Yes, for doing pendants, basically, Ruby. Pendants, small. If I did, I could do. I would not feel bad about sticking a 4-inch uh, saucer on there. And what you, if this is in your chuck, use double-sided tape on this surface and then stick your piece on there. I bring my tailstock up and just use the quill and stick, put pressure on it for about 10 minutes. Probably doesn't need that much time, but I was using one roll of tape, and every time I touched it with the gouge, it would the piece would fly off. So I've got to get a better. I've got a different roll of double stick tape that works better, but I do have to clamp it up pretty tight. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you saying that. Um, all right, Scott. I look forward to you being there. Um, yeah, everything over here behind me looks really red. Like I said, this handle is red. I put I put um, some kind of red tinting in lacquer and sprayed it out of a spray gun. And did that when I was almost out. That's why this one is a little bit lighter, more pinker. It's not as dark as what it is in the picture. It really is. It's thin, so it looks pink in person. Yeah, it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix, Scott. Um, yeah, except for dimensions. I can tell you real quick, Ruby, and I just threw this together. This mine is about 4 1/4 by about 2 1/4, and my that is this piece, and then my round part is 2 1/8 on the big side. On the little end is 1 3/4. Um, and it is. I tried to make it a tight fit, but I don't. You don't need it because you're going to clamp it. You take two of the jaws out, and just clamp it with two jaws, and it squeezes that down all the way, and that will not. You can't budge it when that's squeezed down. Um, it probably would be good to get it just a hair tighter than what mine is, and I probably will redo it like Billy Burt did. He's on the 5th or 6th generation of it now. So it works out pretty good. JP Woodwork. Hey, hey, hey. It's good to see you, bud. I think I got my glitch problems worked out. I just had to change browsers, and it seems to be working great. All right, I'm going to go. You guys have a great night. If you're bored, go turn something, except for Gary. Gary can't turn just yet. So that's okay. Uh, JP, you stepped in it now, buddy. You showed up. Good night, everybody. We'll see you all Tuesday, if not before. Bye bye.